Welcome back to Real Talk with Kandi Thompson.
Garrett Gray.
Season 2, y'all.
Woo!
We did it.
Full year.
We're here on season 2, episode 1. We did a full year.
Yep.
And for many of you watching, it probably just felt like not any time at all because you've been so excited it just flew by, right?
Yeah, right.
And when you're having fun, time flies, right? But it really has been a super awesome commitment. I mean, we're here every week and it has been really fun. You guys, we got new chairs. New chairs for season 2. Anyway, today we have a couple of things. So one thing that you're going to notice for season 2 is that we're really going to hone in on like the real talk and real stories and real heart. And of course, we'll always sprinkle real estate, right? But we're really excited about doing this. So today we get to introduce you to a real estate agent who actually just joined Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Divine Properties. And we could not be more excited to introduce you to Kyle Vaith.
Thank you, Kandi. Yeah, no, I'm
Kyle?
super stoked. I'm really excited for it. You guys have been great so far, and it's just digging into the rabbit hole right now.
Yes, yes,
Oh, man.
it is.
It's a rabbit hole, man.
Yes.
So many different, I was telling you earlier, there's so many different lines of information that are coming at you. You don't know which one to stick on, and you'll dive into some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
I just gotta stay patient with the one, and then kind of go to the next one.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's literally how it has to happen. So Kyle, you have been in real estate for how long?
So right about 3.5 years, coming on to 4, so time to renew. But yeah.
Okay. What made you decide to jump in the real estate arena?
You know, it's a funny thing. I was in high school, about 18 years old, senior year. I always grew up kind of in sales. My dad owned the Sears store over here in Jackson.
Okay.
So kind of just growing up with him, watching him sell, and kind of there's a difference to be made there. You really do affect people's lives.
Right.
And coming, I didn't know what I wanted to do coming out of high school, and I just drove by a real estate office, and I asked my dad, "What's real estate? What does that entail?" He's like, "I don't know. Go ask one." So I just pulled up into the office and asked him, "How do I get my license? What does that take?"
I love it.
I've always been a fan of architecture and sales, and you merge those two together, and you got real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
that's kind of where real estate, that idea came from.
That's awesome. And you've actually been successful in real estate. I mean, there's a lot
plenty
of
of
people that
times.
get their real estate license, but they don't really, they keep their license,
Well,
right?
there's that statistic, right? So out of the 100 that get their license within that year, only 75% of that 100 in the first 2 years back out, and then of the other 25% within the next 5 years total time, 10% of that 25% back
crazy?
out.
And that was a motivating factor, actually. I was always told that kind of going into it. That was the motivating factor to keep on going.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be part of that percentage. So going through that was definitely a motivation.
It's some hard times, but it's that drive of also working it like a job, right?
Yes, yes.
If you do your time and you put it in, success will happen, right?
Yeah.
You got to stay up with your numbers. You got to know what you're doing and know what's actually providing stuff back to you, and then you'll just kind of grow from there.
Well, and I'm super proud of you. One thing I've always noticed about you is you're a hard worker. Like you show up, you're at the events, you do the things, and that's what it takes. I mean, it takes for you to be present and actually show up. And I've always said, like, working for myself, I mean, I've worked for myself since, let's see, my girls were 5. So 17 years I worked for myself. And before I worked for myself, when I would work for, an employer, I treated the company like I owned it. Like you didn't have to micromanage me, right?
Yeah.
I was going to be the one that was going to do everything the best way that I could possibly do. So when I went to work for myself, I literally said, like, I will never work harder for someone else than I'm willing to work for myself. Like I'll get up earlier, I'll work later, like whatever it needs. And that is a heart. Not everybody does that.
Yeah.
And I thank you for the kind words. That is something, even these last couple of weeks, deciding to go full-time real estate, and I quit my day job, and that was part of it. You get out what you put in.
That's right.
And then I wanted to put in more, and I'm here now. So
Yeah.
Now
Well, we're so excited to have you as part of our team. And one thing that I love is, like, you're right. When you join Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Divine Properties, there's so much at your fingertips that it's almost like the abyss. And that's what when we get into the back office, I'm like, okay, don't get overwhelmed. This is the abyss. But there's so many tools to help you succeed. I mean, that's literally the motto of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services is we will help you achieve success faster than you would on your own. And what that means is by using our tools. It doesn't mean you get to show up here and don't do anything and
just
you're going to be
happens.
successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the tools that are at your fingertips are literally mind blowing. But you're right. You have to take them one at a time because you'll get lost.
Right.
And that was like the second most important thing coming into like looking for a new company was the tools,
Yeah.
the training, everything. Of course, the first thing was the community,
Yeah.
and you guys, and so like the values that you guys hold in your company. That was the first thing.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, that's training aspect, getting really in depth and kind of building that foundation of not just a job but a career.
Yeah.
Like you said, like you're gonna work so hard for someone you work for. Why don't you do that for yourself?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's right. But knowing how to do that, right? Like not just like waking up. I mean, you could be ambitious and wake up and be
Yeah.
like, okay, self, I'm here.
What direction
Now what
am
do
I
I
going?
do? Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually having the tools to be able to get yourself out there and do what it takes. And so I love that. We're super
Thank
excited
you.
to have you
Thank
join
you.
us. So so one fun thing that you're going to be embarking on is there's a forever agent productivity coaching program that you fall right within. So the parameters of that are that they generally say being in the business from 2 to 5 years and having anywhere from 5 to 10 sales under your belt. That's their goal is the people that they're wanting
Yeah.
to train. And then Berkshire puts forth a year's worth of training for you. So we're so excited for you to jump into that.
That's super cool. I think that was when we met up last week. That was one of the driving factors too. I just having that ability to do that is yeah.
Well, and I know I shared with you, but I'm a productivity coach. So I'm a forever agent productivity coach. So I can actually coach teams of people out there. So I know this side of it, but it's going to be really fun watching you go through that side of it. So it is really going to be awesome. So what is name like top goal for 2026?
Top goal for 2026 is really just to dive in. I want to know the business inside and out. I've never been one that was like, I always like to make goals, but I like to make goals in the present time. I'm not a big New Year resolution guy.
Yeah.
Mainly because I feel like the best time to start a goal is today.
Yeah.
Right.
Start
Right.
it today. And we can go into like numbers and then like amount of sales, but I think really just to get to know the business. I want
Yeah.
to be able to provide knowledge to people more so than anything.
That's right. Awesome. Well, we're very excited, Kyle. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you.
today. And we are going to keep you updated as we move forward. We're actually monthly. We're going to be
Yeah.
interviewing realtors. And they might be with our team and they might be with other people's team. But real estate is one of those things that is kind of it's one of those things that's interesting and people want to know about, but nobody really knows like how to get started or if it's something they'd be willing to do. So if you are looking to get into real estate, what advice would you give somebody looking to get into real estate?
I think the biggest advice I'd give is don't be wishy-washy. You don't get anywhere when you're saying, I can do this, but I can't. Like going back and forth, you don't get anywhere. You just gotta go do it. You gotta go do it.
Ain't nothing
Trust
to
the
it but to do
process. Jesus always got a plan for you. You just gotta go for it. When you back yourself up and you always have two sides of yourself. You have I can do this, and then it's that trauma side that said, but I might fail.
Yeah.
And if you can push away that kill that second side of you and just go, a lot more success, a lot more ability to just get it done.
Well, and know that you're not going to always be successful on the first go, right? Like anybody that's successful out there has failed many, many times.
You got to fail to learn.
You have to
gotta
fail to learn. And it's kind of a fun journey along the way. So you make sure you got a good team around you and it's going to be really fun. So if you're looking to get your license, jump in, don't stop, just go forward and it's worth it. I mean, we believe we're coming up on a really, really awesome season, but then again, none of us have a crystal ball, right?
Yeah.
So
we'll see how it works. We've seen some stuff in the works. Things are moving. Things are changing.
Yeah.
I think rates are starting to plateau a little bit right now.
Right.
Homes are starting to come down because of that. And I'm seeing the whole kind of move. So there was a statistic that came out. October is probably one of the best months to buy because in that time frame, if you buy now, right, you're gonna get that lowest of the market of this year and the lowest of the rates that are supposed to be coming out for this year.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right, because then from here it's gonna either keep dropping to where you can refi and have a lower rate, or the house goes up and you're already gained equity. So it's kind of one of those times that it's kind of a sweet spot at the end of the year.
Right. No, I agree. And one thing we talk about a lot is that when you're looking at rates and people, and that's what everybody's looking at right now,
Of course.
right?
What's my monthly?
Right. But here's the thing, when those rates go down to where they're ideal for you to buy, the price of that home just went
Yeah.
up. So right now really is the best time to buy.
Yeah.
If you can afford it. If you have a lender that's telling you you can afford to buy right now, you should be buying, because when those rates drop, the price of your home is still going to be down. It's not going to go back up. And so you're going to have equity. When those rates drop, you're going to have equity instead of having to buy high. So, well, we're going to segue into our next section, and you're welcome to stay and talk with us, Kyle. It is, so what we wanted to talk about yesterday was October 14th, which President Trump.
Charlie Kirk's birthday.
Yep, Charlie Kirk's birthday. And President Trump actually gave him the highest honor of a civilian that can be given, which was the Freedom Award. Which I feel like was very well deserved.
Yeah.
I think that was really awesome. One thing that I really felt yesterday, though, was I just prayed that people would like honor Charlie and remember Charlie, but not worship Charlie. And that's one thing that I'm seeing happening, that I'm like, oh, no, don't replace Charlie for Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Like Charlie was a steward of Jesus. He worked for Jesus, right?
Yeah.
He was out there doing the work in the trenches, doing what we're called to do. But please do not misconstrue that for him being your Jesus, right?
Right.
So any thoughts on remembering Charlie Kirk?
It goes with the saying, good and faithful servant. And that's what Charlie was. He really was. He was out there in the battlefield. He put himself in the warrior's den and fought. He did it in a very respectful manner.
Oh, yeah.
The same way. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch his videos, but you have to remember social media is what it is, right? So you're going to see all the ones that kind of like spark a little fire in you in some way or another, but you got to remember, this dude's been doing this since he was 18.
Yeah.
Many conversations of what he's done, many times on campus were not being recorded. They're not ones that are flashing up on social media. If you have a chance to actually watch anything that Charlie has done, like at length, instead of just in little excerpts, it's really, really awesome to listen to him and to hear like his thoughts about what's going on. His whole heart is Jesus, where people say, well, you can't be political. He wasn't trying to be political, but at some point in time, if you are conservative and you're looking to follow the values of the Bible, those honestly do line up with a political
what's
viewpoint.
crazy though too is he would start getting into a political conversation, and the ones that I've seen, he would try to change it back into more of like that faith information, right? You think, okay, cool, I get that, but let's look at this excerpt, right? And then this is what this says. Do you think that aligns with that?
Yeah.
And he wasn't trying to go and talk about the political side, but he'd bring the faith into it and explain like, well, this is why it's supposed to be like that, or this is why this person is acting like that.
That's right.
Right? Do you believe that? And he'd be like, no. Well, you're just bringing stuff up. And it's like, well, so you're not even listening to the conversation. You know?
Well, and if you're actually a true activist for Jesus, you are truly fighting to make sure that religion is freedom, that you are actually allowed to practice, to be out there loving Jesus in a free world, right? And there are people out there that are trying to take that away, even from Americans. So when you're looking at who you want the next leader of your country to be, you are going to look at who's going to provide your religious beliefs and your freedoms to be able to worship the Lord that you want to worship, right? Which we know there's only one, but I'm just saying. But I mean, at the end of the day, those are always in jeopardy.
Yeah.
We're always having our rights trying to be stripped from us. So when you're fighting for the good of the word, right? There is a political point of that, because if you're not serving someone, if the king on the throne, who for us is Jesus, but the president of the United States is not someone who is open to religious freedoms, that hinders what we do.
Isn't there also a saying though too, where what is it? Faith is supposed to be separate from politics, right? You're supposed to separate the governing side to what actually you're supposed to be doing in good faith and under the rule, right? Like,
oh, I pray to God that everybody in government knows Jesus.
Yeah, I think faith and politics go hand in hand. I really do. I think
when they don't, you better be afraid.
Exactly, and I do. I think
then you're not afraid.
Yeah,
of course.
Now you're not worried.
Yeah,
right?
And it goes back into the Bible when Jesus came to earth. He was fighting the Romans. I mean, that was the pagan Romans.
That's right.
And that's a politic thing. The Romans were politics. and he fought that on the spearhead. So no, I think faith and politics are very well connected, and it needs to be. I think it really does.
And if you look, one thing that was so awesome for me was watching Charlie's memorial. And I mean, there was every member of the cabinet was there. Every member of the presidential cabinet was there. And if you listen to every one of them that get up there and talk, they honor Jesus.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, we are in good hands. But one thing that is huge in that is that Charlie had a hand in almost every single person that's in the cabinet, you know?
Really.
So it really is, we are in very, very good hands. And I mean, I don't care whether people like President Trump or not, right? You don't have to like the person, but I mean, look at what he just did with freeing the hostages. That was really awesome. And it makes me sad when people are so focused. I mean, I pray for people that are so focused on their hatred of one person that they lose sight of good that's happening, you know? Like, I wasn't a fan of Donald Trump before he became a president either. All I want is just somebody who's going to put America first.
Right.
I mean, listen, there are many presidents that we could go through the lineup on all the mistakes they've made, right? But I didn't need to be best friends with them. We're not going to barbecue in the backyard. I'm just hoping to have someone who's going to make the best decisions for our country.
I think that's where it comes to the problem with social media, man. You're able to get so much information out there now that back before it wasn't like that. But it also is a very pivotal point of everybody likes to put the negatives on social media. So that's all their people research now is, oh, I saw it on Instagram, or hey, where'd you get that information? Well, I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's your main source of information that you're getting is from there, and that they love to always put the negatives or that person's viewpoint on it, thinking that that's going to make the sense.
Right.
That's not the 100% answer, and that's not the full story either. They're snippets.
That's exactly
They're
right.
30 to 60 snippets. Right? You got to go actually do the research. I mean, everything that's said on Instagram or social media or is put out there, there's a whole blog somewhere else that tells you the whole story. So before you bring up your viewpoint of, oh, this is where they did it, and you refer to me and say, oh, I saw it on a reel, I'm not going to listen to you.
Always fact check.
Can we go take that back? I mean, even if you said I got it from ChatGPT, I trust you more with that. You're just coming off of Instagram.
Literally.
No, I think everybody makes mistakes. I mean, you got to go that there's only one person that walked this earth that didn't make a mistake, and that was Jesus Christ himself.
Right.
100%.
Everybody's human. Everybody makes a mistake.
Yep.
Well, that's how you learn, right?
Oh, of course.
Well, and I think it's funny because there's a lot of people that are, that get all their information from social media, but they do not understand that there is an algorithm. What you watch is what you'll see. So when I literally had people say, well, that's it. I mean, that's all that's like, that's just, no, it's because that's all you watch.
Yeah.
Like if you actually want to see the true picture, you're going to have to sit for a second on some of the videos that you don't agree with so that you can see the viewpoints of all people. Otherwise, you're literally only seeing, the algorithm is going to feed you more of what you watch.
Yeah.
So
all I get now is Taylor Swift because that's all my wife talks about. So it's really fantastic going through my algorithm. I get to watch my golf or workout videos anymore. I get all Taylor Swift.
You are cracking me up. So I get dog videos. I love worship music, and I love watching dance videos. Oh my gosh, like I get those are mine. You look at my feed, that's it.
I'm a big golf guy. I get a lot of golf stuff. I get a lot of golf stuff.
A lot of golf. I always like it. But I always hate, and I know she's just as bad as it too. We are easy sales, man. So as soon as something that we like and watching comes up, I don't know how many more golf grips I gotta buy because I think the next ones are better. Okay.
Literally.
Oh no, I'm worse.
So
I do it with clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so no, it's bad. I'm an equipment guy. I love the equipment. I've always been.
It's hysterical. Oh, it's hilarious. All this stuff. So Garrett and I do this all the time, but I'm like, even in my company right now, like I found these little cameras that are called window cams, and they're really cool because they're like, they're saying that they're better than like a Ring camera because a Ring camera you can tear down because it's on the outside. Yeah, but the window cam does the same thing. It's just inside the window doing everything. So you get the same type of like a report on anybody that's walking by. And so when I'm doing contracts with potential tenants, well, they're not potential. When I'm doing contracts, they are a tenant. So when I'm doing contracts with tenants and I'm talking about security, I always say, hey, look at that. And then, oh, where'd you get that? And every time I'm like, the TikTok job. Got it off the TikTok shop. Let me just give you the brand. You can look it up yourself. So yeah, but it is, we fall very easy into that. But I've got some, listen, my Facebook jeans are my favorite jeans. I'm not gonna lie.
Facebook
Yeah,
jeans.
yeah, my Facebook jeans. They are. I now have 3 pairs.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, you guys, we're very thankful to have you back. Thank you for our small hiatus that we took between season 1 and 2. I think it
Yes.
was a week and a half.
Yeah, it was good.
And we have so much in store for you for season 2. So definitely stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. Okay.
All right, we got to hit a quick sponsor. Recorded. All right. Hey, today we're talking about safety, not just your own personal safety, but your online presence safety. Okay, posting on social media. You got to remember, everything you post on social media is getting pulled by AI. We love AI. We use AI all the time, but we need you guys to be understanding like what you're posting. It is getting reviewed, so know what you're doing and then where it's going.
That's right. And keep in mind that like AI is linked to, as you know, all the social media platforms. So whatever you're posting on social media, you just want to make sure that like that you're not putting like things that they can use for your birth dates or your passwords, right? So all this stuff. And then think about your password security. Be aware of your own personal security. Like for example, on Zoom calls, be very cautious on Zoom calls. If anybody's asking you questions on stuff that's personal, like, okay, what's your birth date? What's your mother's maiden name? Anything like that, just be wise. Also, Zoom calls, sometimes they'll tell you, okay, we need everyone to look to the left. We need everyone to look to the right. Well, they're getting your facial profile.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're wise to that sort of thing. Also, your daily routines. Don't show your daily routines on social media. If you're showing your daily routines, you're setting your house up to be robbed because someone knows when you're gone.
Yeah.
And then everything.
Make up the daily routine.
Yeah, literally. And it's fine to do, be yourself, but just like if you're going for a jog every morning at 6:30 in the morning, number one, you're putting yourself in danger if you're showing people where you're going. Number two, they know your house is empty every morning at 6:30 in the morning. So just check for validity and accuracy on anything that you do with AI. And then scrutinize suspicious emails. So we'll get emails. This happens all the time. You get an email that, your iCloud storage is needs to be updated. And you're like, gosh, I swear I had that set up. Check the email address. Check the email address on where it's coming from. And if it looks suspicious, it is. Yeah. So don't give any information for something like that. Usually if it's from a super weird email address, it's spam. We are going to give you a website that Garrett's going to put up right now. And if you go to this
provided
website,
in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the official stance of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services or Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Divine Properties or any affiliated entities. This podcast does not constitute legal, financial, or real estate advice, and listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals regarding their specific needs. While we strive to provide accurate information, we make no guarantees regarding the completeness or reliability of any information discussed. We are not responsible for any actions taken by listeners based on the content of this podcast. Additionally, topics covered in the podcast are based on the host's experience and opinions and may not apply to all situations. Listeners are reminded that real estate laws and regulations may vary by location, and information may become outdated over time. By listening to this podcast, you agree to release the host, guests, and any associated entities from any liability related to the topics discussed.
That's right, especially thinking about AI, with AI today, how fast. I mean, something that takes somebody 2 weeks to do can be done in 35 seconds right now on AI. So how quick can they decipher your password? If it's 8 characters, 90% of the time they can do it immediately. So just make sure you're being very wise with your passwords and have your password managers.
Keep everybody safe.
Yes.
So not only person, so always check you guys yourself out. And again, this is Tip Tuesday, guys. Talk to you later.
Have a great day.
Tan your hide.
You guys, so Tan Your Hide is actually a local tanning salon, which I love the name, Tan Your Hide. It's so Amador County,
It really is.
But it actually offers so much more than just tanning. So there's UV tanning, there's spray tanning, there's red light therapy.
So cool.
Yeah, and there's a whole boutique in there. So they sell Diff sunglasses and such cute little things. If you haven't checked them out, all girls baseball hats. If you're a baseball hat wearer, go check those out. But Tan Your Hide is now located in this year, 2025. It actually moved, and it's located now in the shopping center that Highway House is in at 559 Highway 49 in Jackson. So directly across the street from the movie theater, that little shopping center right there, you'll find Tan Your Hide in there. All of the employees, all of the technicians in there are smart, safe certified. So is that what it's called? Smart Tan.
Smart Tan
I have
certified.
ServSafe and Smart Tan. Okay, so Smart Tan certified. They're all certified in UV. They're all certified in spray tanning. They're all certified in red light. So any questions that you have, they can definitely help you. For those of you who are unfamiliar with red light therapy, amazing for you. It's amazing for healing, for literally skin conditions, collagen, anything. Research red light therapy, and then that actually has full body red light therapy. So if you're looking to have less pain and feel better, red light therapy is going to be your answer. So go check out Tan Your Hide today.
That was it.
We'll stop. Yep. Perfect.